This is really dangerous. I don't really actually recommend doing this, but it's the way I like to do it. BikeBlogger here. On my way home from work. Topic of the night: how to deal with intersections as a cyclist. There are 3 ways to do it. Number 1. Oh, there goes some cyclists. Should have gave him a wave. Number 1, deal with them like any other car on the road. Rules of the road, if you will. The second way to deal with an intersection is like a pedestrian. That is, get off your bike and walk it in the crosswalk. And the third way, instead of do it how I do it, the way I often do it, that is just avoid intersections. Go out of your way to just avoid them, and you'll see me do that. I also do go through intersections like a car, you know. Nice and easy. Really slippery out right now. I also do deal with intersections like a car. Now, if I'm making a left turn, in my country we ride, or we should, on the right side of the road, just like the cars drive on the right side of the road. So I ride my bike on the right side of the road. If I'm coming to an intersection and I need to make a left, it's sort of a big intersection, there's multiple lanes turning left, I'll get in the slower or the lane that's further to the right if I'm not going to be making a left quickly or soon after I make that left turn. So that way that gets me immediately closer to the edge of the road and not further out into the middle of the street. Making sure my lights are on, my back light's on. It is on. It's a little chilly, it's cold. So on my commute right now, I have only one major intersection. It's near the city-county border at Lansdowne and River de Pere. And stop. There's some cars coming this way and they don't have to stop. 1, 2. This guy turning. Yes, he's turning. That's an old car, but it sounds like a muscle car. Alright, let's make a right. So like I was saying, I only have one intersection I have to deal with you know, a signalized intersection, that is with the traffic light. So I've been thinking about how I'm going to deal with it because, number 1, I don't like being a pedestrian. I don't like getting off my bike and walking it and waiting at a crosswalk. That can be somewhat safe, but I'd rather just avoid the intersection if I can and stay on my bike and keep moving. So, let's just get on this trail right now. It saddens me that this trail doesn't really exist so much right now, but we'll jump on the road in a minute. Going rather slow and getting my thoughts together here. So I've been thinking about how I'm going to deal with this intersection, and I might just deal with it like I did last night, going this direction. It's wet under the bridge. Careful. And there's like this big hole right there. Don't want to fall into the river to my right. There's no barrier. That would really stink. Literally too. It's sort of a sewer, an open sewer. Yeah, we just passed underneath an interstate freeway, I-44. I live in St. Louis, Missouri. I keep bringing that up, but hey, you know, some of you might be new to my videos. And you probably noticed so far right now I have not really answered the question or the topic I'm talking about here. How to deal with intersections. Well, like I said, there are 3 ways to deal with them. This particular one I'll be coming up to, I'm probably just going to go around it. How do I go around the intersection? Well, first I go through it, on the edge of the road, on the right side. And then, it's almost an obstacle course on the sidewalk here. And then, the next thing I do is I'll make a right. Get off the road, and I'm gonna make a circle around the train station. And then I'm gonna come out on the other side. And then once traffic's clear, I'll re-enter the road, and I'll re-enter the road, and it's like a tree in the sidewalk right there. I'll re-enter the road, and I'll just make another right on the edge of the road and get on the trail from there. It's a roundabout way of doing it. But I don't have to get off my bike. I don't have to stop. I barely have to slow down. And that's sort of what I would rather do. Rather than stand next to the pedestrian signal with my bike and walk across. I don't really want to ride my bike in the crosswalk because it's not meant for bikes. It's not designed that way. And I don't like to stop and wait for a traffic light, and I'm not going to go through a red light. So that leaves me with only one option really, which is to simply just go through the intersection on a green light and just go around, basically, go all the way around. You'll see here in a second. I'm coming up to the intersection real soon here. Now, if there's people piled up waiting to make a turn, you know, I might go ahead and turn on my my automobile goggles, like right here, and actually ride my bike like I would drive a car and get in the lane, wait behind the other cars to make the turn. But if I can avoid having to stop, I'd really like to just spend as little time as possible in the intersection. I know there's some cyclists who feel similar to how I feel, but they may just go through a red light, and I don't want to go through a red light. That's not my style. As you've seen all my other 600 plus videos, that's not really my style. So we're gonna make a right up here and get on the road. Almost sort of like a driveway here. Now the signal to my right is green going straight, so that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go straight here. See, there's no one waiting to my left. There's nobody over there. So consequently, the amount of time it's gonna take probably for the signal to change is gonna be somewhat great. So what I'm gonna do is say screw it, make a right. Nice and easy. What I'm gonna say is just screw it. And I'm gonna come up over here and just have a little fun going in a circle back here. And then, oh no, stop sign. And then what I'll do is I'll come all the way back out around, and I'm gonna have to actually ride on the sidewalk a little bit. Again, I don't recommend riding on the sidewalk. I've just rode on the sidewalk. So, BikeBlogger, you're all over the place. Oh, I just wanna get a good workout in, get some good commuting in, just make it a little more fun and a little less stopping. So probably about now, is that train? No, it's a truck. Look at the highway up there to the right. So yeah, that's my thought. We're gonna do here. Oh, I got mulch back here. I don't know if that's free for the taking. It's good to know though. That's the train station to the left. So what I'll do is I come out over here, and the reason why I have to get on the sidewalk is because they got a concrete island, because they don't really want you going like a left, I guess. I think they might even have a sign. I don't know. I don't remember. We'll find out here in a second. So we're going back down to the street now. Let's slow it down. Yeah, it says no left. So what I have to do is go like this. the sidewalk. Now, there's that signal, now it's going red. I'm gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna wait for some more cars, and then we're gonna drop down onto the road. Now, what is the fourth way of dealing with an intersection that you just don't want to be part of? You don't want to be in the intersection. Ugh, this is really dangerous. I don't really actually recommend doing this, but it's the way I like to do it. The other way that might even be safer is to just make a U-turn. Get on the trail now, finally. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. There we go. So, yeah. The other way is to make a U-turn. Now, around where I live, you can do that, but I think you gotta be so many hundreds of feet away from the intersection to do it. All on the up and up, all legally. But since the road, really, there was actually not a lot of traffic on that road at that time, I could have probably gone through the intersection, made a U-turn, circled, and rather than making that, basically I made a very large U-turn going through the train station. But I like riding a little longer, you know? I like to extend my commute a bit. And that's another solution, I guess. Just find a different route. If you really don't like it, find a different route. Unfortunately for me, there aren't really any other routes that aren't, you know, taking me way off of my normal route. Because there's this big, to my left is like this river, and the River des Peres. And there aren't a lot of crossings over it or under it. I'm coming up on one, but it again is also a big, nasty, fast traffic situation. Not good lines of sight. You know, there's blind spots. It's sort of dark underneath the bridge. That's why you gotta have those bright lights. But still, you know, it doesn't even make me all that comfortable, and it's loud. It stinks. I'd much rather just ride on the trail like this, but it doesn't really link up with anything right now, but they're working on that. It will eventually. I'm trying to be a little careful tonight, because as you can see, it's mainly dry, but there are definitely lots of puddles around and lots of spots where it's really slippery, and there's not very good drainage, and there's just standing water, and it gets my tires wet, and then I could slip and fall. And yeah, I got a little bit of shell shock from last time when I fell. Oh, I don't want to fall again. Who wants to fall? Whew. Alrighty. Well, that pretty much covers it. Maybe more in the description below this video. If you have some tips on how to get through intersections as a road cyclist, let us know in the comments section below. It's a little scary. Real slow here. So there's traffic behind me and I can't really see them without looking over my shoulder. Almost got to stop there. Anyway, whatever. I'm liking my new Commute. I'm trying to figure out the little nitty-gritty about it, you know, how I can make it the most efficient and fast commute possible, but also fun. And sure, I could extend it. Maybe I will do that in a future video. Woo! Up the hill. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.